Carl. Carl, where did you go? Carl. Carl. All right, Carl's going to be back in just a minute. He was having some upload. He was having some issues with his lagging streaming. We were talking beforehand. I guess you call it the green room, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be a fun episode. We're going to have a good time with this. And yeah, it's going to look like I ripped off CHGO, even though I really didn't, because I had this brilliant idea. When the Bears on their website posted the top 15 plays from 2025, that during March Madness, I would create a bracket. Well, CHGO went ahead and did theirs. Oh, they've got theirs out there. And I saw it and I was like, no, don't steal my ideas. So we're going to do it today anyways. We're going to have some fun with it. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to play the clips. You'll see it's not the same. It's not the same bracket. My bracket's different than their bracket. I had that idea, and we're going to do it anyways. It's going to be a lot of fun today. We're going to go over the schedule, where we stand right now, where we are in the process of all this, because right now you could technically call this the downtime, a little bit of lag time. The Bears are in between stuff. We're in between pro days and top 30 visits, preparing for the draft. This is where you don't get to see a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. And then I'm actually flying out to Chicago this next week to watch the Cubs. That screen over there, while I was working all day, I got 3 screens right here. This one, and this one. And that screen had the Cubs game on it, and I wasn't enjoying myself very much today. You Sox fans didn't enjoy yourselves very much either. So the Cubs and the Sox, I guess, pack it up. Let's go to 2027 for both of our teams, because they're officially eliminated from the playoffs as of today, right? Everyone's gone. Yeah, did extend Nico. Extended Nico. We got PCA extended last week to good deals. I don't know all the details on Nico's yet, but I think the Cubs are in good shape. I don't know the White Sox as well. Sorry, all you White Sox fans. I just know you guys are trying to rebuild. Hopefully it goes well for you. I don't have any ill wishes against White Sox. I just grew up with WGN in my small little farm town where I grew up. So I'm a diehard Cubs fan since I was little. Watched the Kerry Wood game, not live, on TV. I was in high school. Skipping school, watching the Kerry Wood game. That's memorable to all of us longtime Cubs fans. Oh man, Evie. That was very fun for me. And then I had to play catch up at work. So had to play catch up at work, had to get caught up. But yeah, we went camping, have this really cool rope swing over this river, over this creek. I should call it a creek. And yeah, we had a blast. It was so good to get away. Spring break for them. I understand in Chicago right now, it's spring break for you guys. And then some of other people's spring break next week. So we're going to go over everything today, and then we're going to do an interactive live. So hopefully more people start popping in here. Hopefully we get the viewership count up. Viewership count has been around 150, 200 lately for the lives that Carl and I do. Carl will be back momentarily, and we're going to have people voting on top plays from 2025. We're going to pull up clips from every one of them. And here is, just for an example, we're gonna show you head to head each one of them, and then I believe the year. Take that out of your mind though, because we want it to be fair. We're gonna go over 16 plays from the Bears 2025, because tonight March Madness, and I know some of you Illinois fans, Eli and I, are going to be rooting hard for your 3 seed to pull off the upset and make it to the Elite 8. I think they actually have a decent shot of doing so. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun tonight. Just waiting for Carl to get back. So while we do that, let's make this bigger. And let's just show you kind of a timeline of where we stand right now. So on this little chart of things to expect, we've already gone through the tampering period, new league year. We've gone through free agency. And now this is right where you see in the middle there, mid-March to April 1st. That's where we prepare for the draft. You got all the pro days going on. And today was Texas Tech was the big one. And there were some Bears contingent that, there's a lot of players from Texas Tech that are potential draftees. Lee Hunter being probably the biggest one on my board. But top 30 visits will start just after that, all the way up to the draft. And there's some that have already been announced or rumored. I'll show those at the end. We'll track those as we go along. We always do that on this channel. And then we get into the draft, April 23rd through the 25th. Mark it on your channel. We'll be collaborating with some other people, but I will have the draft right here live. We're going to do the draft here, have live reactions, and hopefully we will have another draft day haul of players that alter this franchise for eternity. Well, at least for the next 10 years. So, then after that, we get into training camp, Hall of Fame game, preseason, and away we go. Here's Carl. Carl's here.
Welcome in, everyone.
Welcome in, Carl.
Late to my show today, JK.
Yeah, you sound a lot better. You look a lot better. So I think that
the internet got 10 times as good as it was. So I can't believe that worked. But
can you adjust your volume up a little bit, or is that my computer? It might be mine.
I can make myself a little bit louder.
I think you're good. All right. So after that, let's just try and hit the rest of this real hard because it's going to take a lot of time to get into doing this full bracket. Not quite as many people, and I guess everybody else with spring break and we're calling this the lull time, a little dead time before we start to get some real action with the Bears. We'll get into real quick. The one big change from combine visits that we added to it was announced that Trayden Stukes, who you guys know, who Carl knows, is a big favorite of mine. He did take a combine visit with the Bears and 14 other teams. Then let's hurry and we'll just skip the rest of this. Here's the pro days.
If we want to stay in the micro and let the viewers take a look at all these pro day dates while I feverishly search for Michigan, what do you say to those who think that the Bears are utilizing their top 30 visits to only analyze players that maybe they have serious question marks about?
I don't know if that's you heard what Carl's referencing is from Dan Rochar. He talked about if there are things they need to clarify or clear up, that they bring someone in for a top 30 visit. But remember, the year before last year, they brought in Caleb, they brought in Rome, they brought in Karan Amagaji. I mean, everyone they brought in basically was a pick. Last year, nobody we brought in except who was it? Ruben Hippolyte was picked. And he had a top 30.
I think Hippolyte was a visit. That sounds about right to me. And again, I don't think it's a tell either way. I think what it boils down to is, what do you trust more? What do you subscribe to more? Do you think that Ryan Poles is well and truly the shot caller in the personnel department or the loudest voice in the room? Unfortunately, I think that title is assigned to Ben Johnson. So if we're operating under that context, then maybe these top 30 visits are players that maybe we should be a little bit more critical of, thinking that they'll be members of the Chicago Bears after the draft is over.
Well, either way you slice it, I think top 30 is just to do more due diligence. Either you love the player, you want to bring him in for more time in Halas Hall, or you have question marks on the player. So I think Dan Rochar was being honest. You got to bring players in that you have question marks about, but it could also mean we're fully in love with this player. We want to bring him in, spend more time with him, and make sure we solidify that we already love this player. We're going to love him even more. So I don't think it necessarily leans one way or the other, or has to deduce one thing or another. It's just fun for us to track. So I'm doing less of that this year, though, with pro days and top 30. Last year I did a ton of that. This year I backed off a little bit. We'll see as we get closer though. Michigan, if you were wondering, Carl, was right up there, March 20th, top right.
Sounds good. Yeah, so we're going to have some competition here. Are they going to go to Michigan's pro day? Are they going to go to BYU's pro day? Who knows?
It's already over. It was a week ago.
BYU?
Both of them, March 20th.
That's what happened already over with. Oh, okay. I understand.
So on the second page here, you got the Bears were at Auburn's pro day, and then 25th, they elected to go to, they went to Alabama's instead of Ohio State's. At least Ryan Poles did. There were other Bears personnel at Ohio State. And then today, the big one was Texas Tech. There's also TCU, Pittsburgh, Florida, so there's ongoing ones. And then really they kind of wrap up April 1st with Indiana being kind of the last one. Then you have Montana and Towson, really outliers but you're going to see a lot of the Bears top 30 visits happening right at the beginning of April through up into what's the last day they can do it before the draft? I think it's 2 or 3 days before the draft. I got to refresh myself on that one from last year, but they can only do it up to a certain point before the draft. I think it's 2 or 3 days before the draft. Not possible. I'll have to relook that one back up. Uh-oh, Carl. We already have a Dixon Mayaz sighting in the chat.
Yeah, the versatile offensive tackle. Very, very good fit, if you will, chat. Very, very good fit.
All right. We'll round this out. This is what we have heard rumored so far, top 30 visits. Ones that have said they're going to be taking top 30 visits with the Bears. You got Mikhail Kamara, defensive end from Indiana, Seth McGowan, running back from Kentucky, Jager Burton, center from Kentucky, Deshaun Stribling, wide receiver from Ole Miss, Zion Young, defensive end from Missouri, and Caden McDonald, defensive tackle from Ohio State. Those are the ones rumored so far to be taking top 30 visits.
What sticks out to me, 3 of those 6, defensive line. Pretty obvious to tell that the Bears need upgrade along the defensive line, probably at all 4 positions if we're being brutally honest with ourselves. Some skill guys in there too. Again, we're going to get into, I don't know if that's going to be today. There's going to be conversation about this wide receiver core. Are we where we need to be? And last year we did the shows. We were able to identify, we need a wide receiver 3, we need a wide receiver 4, and we need a tight end 2. Well, they got those players in the short term, but what they actually did was just go best player available, and those are arguably your best 2 wide receiver, pass catcher options on the football team. But specifically, Caden McDonald, okay? That's a player who, and again, I'm not an NFL scout by any stretch. The defensive tackle out of Ohio State is a football player that maybe isn't a good scheme fit for the Chicago Bears and specifically Dennis Allen's scheme, but Caden McDonald appears to be a very good football player. So maybe that's what we're trying to figure out here is like, hey, we don't think you're a fit here, but we like what we see on film. Do you mesh well? Can you transition to XYZ and so on and so forth?
And by not a good scheme fit, I want to clarify what you mean by that, because the Bears have said we want to go quicker, more explosive on the defensive line, and that's not necessarily Caden McDonald, but if you're looking at, correcting Bears issues from 2025, the Bears gave up almost 6 yards a carry against the run, and Caden McDonald had by far the best, defensive stop rates and run stuffing for defensive tackles in college football last year. It wasn't even close. Like, he's just a monster when it comes to taking on double, triple, quadruple teams and clogging holes and stopping teams from running against them. So by scheme fit, maybe he doesn't fit quick, fast, and explosive, but he still would make a major impact on the Bears, if we're fixing or correcting our issues from last year.
Yeah, if you're being honest, like a one technique, a nose tackle just does not fit the scheme, period. So if that's the player that plays that role, but he plays it to the style of Dennis Allen's, quick off the ball, this, that, the other, then, like you said, maybe that is the fit for, I don't know how you say, square peg, round hole, but you make that hole fit. I don't know. That's the best I could say it, so.
Yeah. So we missed last week, Carl. I was out of town, went camping. I had a great time. This is going to be a more relaxed show. I'm a little discouraged right now, Carl. We've been having a lot more, and I want a lot of people in here for the voting of this. So hopefully some people will scroll in here. I don't want to start too soon and have people miss out on the voting. But we're a little bit down on the viewers right now. So hit the like button, help the algorithm spread. The more people that like it, the more it's exposed to people on YouTube, and then we can get this thing started with our so that's the wrong one. I showed CHGO did something similar because I texted you earlier. I'm like, no, they stole my idea, but we're gonna do it. It's not the same ones. So I'm actually gonna show this where I stole it from, Carl. You what?
The March Madness bracket. I mean, I don't
know. Well, yeah, I got the idea from this on the Bears. So the Bears on their website in February had this, the Bears top plays of the 2025 season. They did it in 3 segments, 15 through 11, 10 through 6, and then 5 through 1. I said, well, there's 15, and then I just needed to find one more. It came down to 2 plays. It came down between 2 plays for me to make the 16th one. It was between the flea flicker to start the season off to Luther Burden, or where I felt like the turning point of the season was Tyreek Stevenson ripping the ball away from the Cowboys as they were driving on us. And which one do you think I took, Carl?
I don't know.
That's tough, huh?
What did you take?
Yeah, so I had to have one more for 16. I took the 15 that the Bears had on their website for the top 15 plays of 2026. Then I needed one more to have a pure 16 bracket.
So if you were kind of looking at it almost like a Sweet 16 in the NCAA, like, are you going to let the big team that is underperforming not go in, or are you going to let the underdog have their shot? We all know that Caleb's throw to Luther there was incredible, all the air yards, but it was essentially a blowout victory. And you know for a fact that neither of these plays are winning the whole thing. I would let Stevenson's play, see how far that goes, because that was about as good of a play that he's made in his career, probably, if I'm being honest.
Dang, Carl, your thinking's right out. So there's a lot of throwing plays from Caleb, a lot of passing plays in the Sweet 16 here. And so I elected to go with a defensive play because it was such a game-shifting play against the Cowboys that turned things. So I elected to go with that. But they were both – I should have done a play-in bracket and had people vote on that one, but I went ahead and chose that one because it was a lot of fun. So this is what we're going to do. We got about 38 in the chat right now. Man, I wanted a lot more for the voting. Good thing we're not doing the fan-led mock draft right now today. We're going to have to do that one another day, but – let's bring this up here.
That's going to take a little bit of building up to. I feel like the sweet spot for something like that, for me personally, is going to be as soon as Mr. Dane Brugler releases his content, The Beast.
Ooh, you see the logo on here, Carl? This is a temporary logo. I got to hurry and do this. So, new logo. I showed Carl earlier. So, top left is where we were. I moved to top right, gave a little electricity. I still didn't like it. I think it ended up being the beanie that I didn't like on the bear. So I've shifted it up. I've got an Iceman logo. This is going to be the new logo for the channel. Iceman, but the one on the bottom right is going to be the new logo. We're going away from, friendly neighborhood bear with the beanie on his head. We're going to go to fierce, gruesome bear who wants to own the NFC North and never give it back. So bottom right is going to be the new logo here very, very soon.
If we, speaking of like transitions and different iterations of the Chicago Bears, I had this thought last night. And this would be good to kind of delay a little bit of time to let the audience fill in. I started watching the Bears. One of my first true memories of them was the Desmond Clark touchdown against the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs. It was 2005.
Yeah, a long time ago.
The next year was the Super Bowl season, and I watched that in its entirety as a youngin', and I've been hooked ever since, obviously. So from that time period on, and I'm sure you've been watching the Bears before then, but from that time period of about the first, the Super Bowl 41 until now, have you been happier with the Bears than you are right now?
No.
I had that realization as well. Sorry to cut you off. It's like, I think I'm the most happy about the Bears I've ever been. It's because the quarterback, it's because the head coach, and yes, you only won one playoff game. I much prefer to go to the Super Bowl, regardless if you win it or not, than just winning one game. But I guess it's paired with this optimism. It's a lot easier to be optimistic now than kind of looking back in hindsight 2020, all these things. But it's like you have the quarterback, you have the head coach, you just beat the out of your rival in miraculous fashion. Yes, there's been some turnover with the players that you have, but we still have the draft to look forward to, and I think they're going to do just fine there. Pair that with my Michigan bias of having Colston Loveland, it's like, this is the happiest I've ever been as a Bears fan.
Yeah, and I hate to cut you off, Carl, so I waited till you were done, but
yeah,
I had to. I love playing that clip. I don't know why that gives me joy to have the bear attacking the camera. To go back to what you were saying, Carl, the whole reason I started this channel was because we've been the lovable loser Bears forever. I mean, like the lovable loser Cubs. I mean, it's just, that's the way it's been. And we keep feeling like we're getting out of it. And then we sink right back in. And then we're getting out of it for a year. And then we sink back in. And then we get Mitch Trubisky or Jay Cutler. And, we're going to get out of this. And then we get sucked right back in after, 1 year of good football. And it's right back, sell our soul for one year of a winning record. And then we're back to being lovable losers again.
So let me
to our own fan base.
Yes, I think you're spot on. Let me explain something. So, again, from my time frame, this football team could never get the quarterback right. Mm-hmm. And they did this thing where they went from whatever coach they had before. I don't know if it was Dick Drawn or whoever it was, and they went to Lovey. And with Lovey, I forgot the name of the general manager, but it seemed like that was working. They had a good coach who knew how to coach defense, charismatic coach that the team loved to play for, and they had a general manager who was able to acquire talent via the draft. And you got unlucky with some of your really good draft picks, Tommy Harris, Mike Brown, fantastic players, but they're club legends, right? They can never become NFL legends because of those damn injuries. So, again, you have this really good team. You're compiling talent. You just couldn't get the quarterback right. Well, what happens? I can't get the quarterback right through the draft? Well, fuck it. I will trade for Jay Cutler. Did that work out? No. And it's not any fault of Jay Cutler.
It kind of did, though, Carl. I wonder what would have happened if he didn't get hurt in the second half against the Packers.
Right. It only takes one. So if you
add a
Super Bowl victory to Jay Cutler's legacy here in Chicago, he's really good.
But we'll never know because he got hurt and we ended up losing. So we'll never know.
But you see where I'm going.
Yeah.
You overreached, you overextended, and in my opinion, maybe you actually got the quarterback right, but it was a little bit too little, too late in the sense that you held on to this defense where you've got this really good set of names, but they're old and they kind of suck. Yeah, I know the language is offensive. Sorry, Richard Colby. I'll try and cut it down. I'm just passionate about this. So then you pivot to the dark years, right? The beginning of the Ryan Pace era, John Fox, all these things. That was a dark era. Then, okay, we drafted a quarterback high. We traded up for him. We overextended again. Did I get it right? I don't know. But we're going to hire this offensive mastermind, and we're going to see if we get lucky.
I see where you're going.
We're going to trade for Khalil Mack. We're going to see if we get lucky. It almost worked. You had a really good team. Maybe if you make a kick, you find yourself in where would they have gone? New Orleans? You win against New Orleans, see what happens there. Maybe you beat the Patriots in that Super Bowl. History repeats itself. Maybe get lucky one more time. But now we're not relying on generating our own luck because we got lucky. We got the quarterback. We watched the Panthers somehow stumble into the first overall pick that was our pick, and we drafted the quarterback. So now it's almost like we're playing with house money. So, again, it's like this overwhelming sense of optimism that I have for essentially the first time as a Bears fan.
Yeah, going back to what I said, the whole reason this channel started was because of that, perpetual cycle, which left us with what we call Bears PTSD. The whole reason that, oh man, do we really, we got gifted this number one pick. Do we really draft Caleb Williams, or do we spend this on trading down and getting a haul? And, because we've never gotten it right. We need more players to solidify this. If we have 7 really good players instead of one quarterback, can we finally get it right? Well, they took Caleb, and nobody's complaining now. Everybody's happy with Caleb. They should be, at least. That there's very few weirdos out there that really are stuck on, that we shouldn't have taken, because Caleb has shown it. I mean, half these highlights that we're going to show in the 2025, what we're going to do here today, are Caleb. I mean, he's just phenomenal. He's won us over. We got to build it right. And
imagine if we were the Dolphins. Imagine if we actually ended up giving Fields a big contract. That much dead cap. Yeah, we gave Fields a big contract. We thought he was the guy. It just didn't pan out. Then we'd be screwed for such a long time again. We'd have to fire everyone. We'd have to hire a new general manager who is intent on correcting the previous mistakes. We'd have to hire a lame duck head coach off the rip. We wouldn't be competitive until 2030. We wouldn't even be talking about a new stadium. So again, all these things go hand in hand.
So, Carl, all those
house money right now.
All those people wanting the Bears to go all in this year and trade for Max Crosby and, overspend and restructure 7 contracts to make it work out. What you're saying needs to be remembered, because the Bears have done this in the past. They're being very, I shouldn't even say frugal. It's not frugal. They're being very meticulous with the way that they handle this offseason, because if the draft doesn't go perfectly, the Bears can cut, like, there's top 10, everyone in the top 10 contracts are cuttable next year except Caleb Williams. Like, his contract you're not going to cut as a rookie. You wouldn't do that anyways. All the other top 9 are all cuttable because we didn't, extend them. We didn't restructure them. So the Bears have ultimate flexibility next year. So they're going into this very meticulously, that we're going to build through the draft. And then if something presents itself, we can do something. We can still restructure. We can still create salary cap. But we're doing this very meticulously to not overextend ourselves, put ourselves in a position where we traded for Khalil Mack, and gave away our first-round picks of next year, when 2027 is considered one of the best draft class in a long time. 26 is good. It's fine. It's a good draft class. There's a decent amount of good players, a couple blue chippers. Next year, the entire first round is basically blue chip players. It's a solid, like everyone consensus. 2027, amazing draft class.
You want to stick your neck out for me on that one, because aside from this guy Jeremiah Smith and the potential quarterback prospects with a kid who chose Oregon over the Jets, and there's another quarterback Manning, Arch Manning. Aside from that, like, who are these can't miss, gold jacket kids that we're going to be drafting in 2027?
Oh, there's a lot of edges, a lot of defensive linemen, a lot of good cornerbacks. I don't have all the names because we're sitting here hyper focused on 2026.
I hear you.
But I know there's a Texas defensive end that's really good, a South Carolina one. I literally can't even tell you the names off the top of my head because we're so hyper focused on the 26 draft right now.
And I believe you. That's been echoed across the ether here countless amounts of weeks, months at this point. I understand it. It's just
a lot of players.
I wouldn't do this thing where it's like, man, I need a 2027 first. I just wouldn't overvalue that pick. I would still just consider it a first round pick, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I know you do follow this channel, but if you remember, like, a lot of players that have been brought up that have gone back to college, like, even remember when we were talking a long time ago about Amari Washington from Oregon, defensive tackle? Well, he was an early second round pick. Well, now he's decided to return to Oregon. He should be a first round pick. Carter Smith was the first offensive tackle I highlighted in this draft from Indiana. He announced he would go back to college, which I didn't understand because he didn't allow a single pressure. He didn't allow a sack. He didn't allow anything. Like, he would have rose boards fast. He would have been
Carter Smith, specifically a left tackle or just a tackle in general, or
left tackle, and he didn't allow anything, man.
Well, I'm
national
hearing
champion
all these
Indiana.
Things. I'm hearing all these things about Freeling, Lomu, all these guys. So maybe it was just a decision where it's like, hey, I probably could go 25-32 if I'm Carter Smith. Maybe next year I could go top 5 if I'm lucky. Maybe that's the thought process. I don't know.
I don't think the Bears are planning on picking top 5. This is funny. Adam, you
I'm
got to
not
trade.
talking about for the Bears. I'm talking about Carter Smith's evaluation of his contract that he'd be receiving based on where he's drafted next year.
Adam, you got to trademark that ice bear before George Gervin gets to it. I don't know if you've caught that today,
Nope,
Carl.
I haven't. What's going on here?
So Caleb is trademarking Iceman.
I know that, but who's George Gervin? I don't know.
He's a basketball player. I think he actually played for the Bulls.
That's the crybaby who's advocating against Iceman.
Yeah, from the Spurs. So he's
pound sand.
He's opposed to it,
George.
So good times, good funny stuff. So yeah, next year is going to be a good draft, though.
I'm all in favor for the Iceman trademark, for the record. Why not?
All right, Carl, do you want to shout out the chat for us real quick, and I'll get the brackets set up, and I'll get the media assets ready. So do you want to shout out the chat?
Specifically right now, the live participants that are being displayed to me, at least, and I'm wondering if I'm having an issue on my end. See Mr. Antmass. It's really good to see you, Antmass. Welcome in. Some guy named Baird on Sports. I have no idea who that is. Mr. Bearskin Matt. I know all about Mr. Bearskin Matt at this point. And then Temphus. Temphus is in the chat as well. What else we got going on? I think it's just what's cached on my end at this point then. Got Gavin South, not the Gavin that we were just talking about, even though it's Gervin.
We got Erica Lang.
Bad Kitty. Is that Evie?
That's Evie, yep.
Evie. Ronald Cole.
I know there's a Dixon My Ass sighting. Oh, that's Gavin.
I mean, I know that he
Jeff
watches
Potter.
our content. I know that he watches our content, though. Dixon Mayaz is always trying to evaluate his craft and become a better fit for our Chicago Bears, if you know, you know. Richard Colby. Erica Lang.
I feel like we've got to have a competing show on right now. Is there something else like CHGO on right now, or is there Chat Sports going on right now?
I'm not subscribed to them. Let's take a look at the old YouTube right now. Oh, it's the Burnt Peanut. Everyone's watching the Burnt Peanut.
I have no idea what that is.
It's he streams video games. He specifically streams a game that I've been playing quite a lot of called Arc Raiders. But
so, Adam, what do you think about trading down and still getting defensive tackle Caleb Banks? Caleb Banks is kind of falling to the 5th one on my pecking order for defensive tackles. I like Caleb Banks, but if you're looking at my order right now, I think it's Peter Woods, then Kristen Miller, then Lee Hunter. No. Yeah, and then Caden McDonald, only because I think we need the speed and the pressure, and then Caleb Banks. I don't know. It switches all the time for me, but I really hope that's what we take in the first pick. But I kind of do want that trade down. I really. If you didn't see my mock draft today, let me pull that up.
Where are you in this whole process for your evaluation here? Have you made definitive or at least rough top fives for all the position groups?
Probably not in a organized way. This last week, since I got back from my camping trip, it's been completely trying to catch back up on my insurance job and trying to slowly get back into this, but like not trying to overwhelm myself because it's been a little wild the last couple of weeks. So I did this one last night, Carl, and I freaking love this one. I posted this one on Twitter. This might be my favorite mock draft I've done, and it involves the Bears trading out of the first round. And I really like the idea of picking up a couple extra picks, but still keeping value range.
All right, so just to be clear, this Trading, I can't make a joke out of his name. Trading Stukes. This is our starting safety opposite of.
He's a box safety. I know everybody is confused because it says cornerback next to it. He even competed, or even tested at the combine with the safeties because he's a box safety. He played nickel. He played strong safety. He's a box safety.
Sounds good. Well,
but
again,
what was all the stuff that we heard about Kyler Gordon moving to safety, though? I think Dennis Allen mentioned something where he's versatile, where he could move.
That was all last year. He was just cross training him. So, again, I do appreciate wanting to cross train players that are established, right? Like our new coaching staff paid or signed off on paying Kyler Gordon before Kyler Gordon ever took a snap in a Dennis Allen defense because of what he had done in the NFL previously. He was established. He could play nickel cornerback for the Bears or any other 31 NFL teams, and you could win a Super Bowl with that player at that position. He's that good. But to go in and say, hey, Trading Stukes, I really like you. I need you to play safety. I need you to play outside cornerback. I even need you to play nickel cornerback when Kyler Gordon gets another soft tissue injury. That's hogwash. If you're going to draft Trading Stukes, he's going to be the safety position opposite of Kobe Bryant, and that's it. Don't have him do anything else. Have him become a good player at one position before we start to do this moving around stuff. And I know Kobe Bryant was able to go from position to position, but that was year after year with coaching staff changes, right? He was drafted as a cornerback, correct?
Yeah, but I think that's a little different. I think they were moving him around till they found what worked. It wasn't moving him around just to have him be versatile. He was drafted as a nickel. He was drafted as a nickel cornerback. Wasn't really working out, so they moved him to free safety. Wasn't really working. I'm sorry, strong safety. It wasn't really working out there, which is a natural move from nickel corner to strong safety. That's kind of natural. Then they moved him to free safety, and he really excelled. He really took off and killed it. So I think that's more of trying to find his right spot.
Yes, right. But while the path may be different, the concept is still the same in the sense that I don't want you to draft Trading Stukes if you do not believe that he could be the best possible safety for your football team when the draft selection occurs. He needs to be the opposite safety of Kobe Bryant because, with all due respect to Elijah Hicks, he's not going to cut the cheese. He is not the starter that's going to help you win another playoff game, get to the NFC Championship, and, God willing, the Super Bowl. Bad idea. If Trading Stukes is your opposite safety, draft him there, train him there, and expect nothing else.
I like it. Yeah, and even with that, like, you got a little versatility there with Trading Stukes, with Kyler Gordon. If they wanted to move Kyler to safety, Trading Stukes has played nickel and played nickel very well in college. I like the versatility there. So we started our first poll. If you didn't see that, Carl, we had this comment right here from Tempest. I love the mock, except Peter Woods at the top. And I think everyone kind of feels consensus we need another defensive tackle. So I just started the poll. Who would you pick at defense? Who would your pick at defensive tackle be as of today? So Peter Woods, Lee Hunter, Kristen Miller, Caden McDonald. I left Caleb Banks off. I'm sorry. I left him off. He's just not my favorite right now. So my top four I put on there. We've got a pretty neck and neck thing. We've got 8 votes going on so far. Pretty neck and neck with Peter Woods and Lee Hunter.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want my Michigan bias to be taken out of context here. I think that Cade McDonald's a fantastic football player. I've already talked about how the scheme fit what I'm being told. Not even necessarily what I'm observing, just kind of what I'm digesting here. It's suggesting that Cade McDonald is not the fit for this Dennis Allen defense. Peter Woods, on the other hand, again, not an evaluator of talent here, Adam. Peter Woods seems like a fantastic fit for this Dennis Allen defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are confused about Peter Woods because he moved from more pure 3-tech last year to more of a 4-eye over the guard, not in the gap as much. And he played a different scheme with Clemson this last year. So I think a lot of people are confused by the drop in production from that. He played what was asked of him. I think his get off, I think his bend, I think his everything about him as an interior defensive guy. He moves like a defensive end, but he plays on the interior. I think he's absolutely a phenomenal option for the Bears.
I'd have to say I agree. And then I saw everyone's talking about Gabe Jacas. I know that that's a really easy name to talk about at a position of the need for the Bears. Coming out of school located inside of Illinois, literally the University of Illinois. So it'd be a hometown favorite, right? I heard that Gabe Jacas's potential NFL comparison is a guy named Whitney Merciless. And I only remember very good things about Whitney Merciless. So I feel like if that's the player that we're drafting at pick 44, I'd be head over heels to make that selection.
I don't know who Whitney Merciless is. It makes me feel like I need to have more football knowledge.
An older player. He was maybe the second or third best defensive lineman on his playing days with the Houston Texans. From what I remember, anyway. I only remember good things about Whitney Merciless. So, again, if that's the comp and that's the player you're getting, sign me up.
All right, so we've got 45 in the chat right now. We got 15 votes. Put your votes in there. This is kind of a precursor. We'll have fun with this either way, but we're gonna do the actual bracket here now. I know this is very small, so I'll zoom in to where we're going to be going first. But let's go to this side of the bracket first, top left. And these were done in completely random order. I did not bracket them 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15. I did a random little thing on my phone where you pick 1 through 16 and you hit randomizer, and then I put them against each other. And we're going to go through the highlights, and we're going to let you guys vote on these. We'll start at the top left, but first let's end this poll, and we'll get our next one up. So we're going to end the poll. Peter Woods is the consensus everybody's looking at right here. Let's see how it ended up. So 17 votes. Who would be your pick at defensive tackle today? Peter Woods with 52% of votes, so 9 of them. Lee Hunter with 24%, Caden McDonald with 18%, and Kristen Miller, who I really like. I think he's a perfect fit for the Bears, 6% with Kristen Miller. So kind of ChatGPT.
Miller is the defensive tackle from Georgia, yes?
Yep.
So Miller, I feel like, again, I agree with your sentiment, probably a good scheme fit. Seems like a player that you'd be a lot happier acquiring in round 2. I know that probably doesn't happen.
I just don't think he'll last till 57.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. We're going to go round 1 voting here. Caleb Jumpman. I'm not going to start it until I show the 2 clips. So Caleb Jumpman, I think everyone knows what throw this is, versus Jake Moody, game-winning field goal.
Yeah, just to be clear, everyone, that was the 4th down. I can't remember if this was the playoff game or not, but I think it was. But it was the throw to Rome on 4th down, where if they did not get this, the game is over.
A lot of these are actually 4th down. You remember the Jade Walker catch in the end zone? That was 4th down. The Cole Kmet in the end zone in the divisional round was a 4th down. Like, there's so many of these. Caleb has become so clutch on 4th down. So, all right, we're going to show these highlights. First one first. Caleb Williams, jump man to Rome. Unreal. I feel like we're going to – some of these I did just over 7 seconds, so I feel like we're going to get flagged on some of these, but whatever. We're having fun with it. And number 2 was the Jake Moody game-winning field goal against the Commanders, who ironically he ended up going back.
Snap a bit high. Kick is good. And the Bears win it.
All right. And again, these are from the Bears website, top 15 plays of the year. So they chose them. So let's go ahead and start the poll on those 2. Caleb Jumpman to Rome or Jake Moody game-winning field goal.
All right.
There's a lot of game-winning plays in this top 16.
Yeah. While we let the votes flow in, suggestion to you, Adam, play these clips as close as you can back to each other so that if something does get flagged, you can cut it out, if that makes sense. But the live shows here, as far as your RPM and all these things, these advanced money earning metrics, I'm not sure if that's the goal of the live shows. Maybe it is, but I like interacting with the chat. So again, your guys' interaction, much greatly appreciated, and Adam throwing these clips together for added context, very, very useful.
You gotta love the chat, though. This is funny. I just knew Adam would get Moody on the list.
Yeah.
I've moved on, okay, guys?
Yeah.
I think if we do get a kicker, it'll eventually be in the draft. But I'm going off what the Bears had on their list of the top 15 plays of the year. This had nothing to do with me.
You have to add the content. You have to add the context to that clip, right? Jake Moody coming in. I don't know if that was necessarily a short week for him, but it's the mentals of the kicker, right? Like he was on another team. He was drafted 99th overall by a team that ultimately went to a Super Bowl, and they said, "Nah, you're not good enough, kid." And we signed him to our practice squad, and then he gets put into battle, so to speak, because of an injury. All that context, and again, I'm a Michigan fan. I love Jake Moody. He's a fantastic kicker. This shouldn't even be close. I mean, the Caleb throw to Rome.
And
oh my God,
it's not close. It's one of the greatest throws ever.
It shouldn't be close at all.
We're gonna end it 18 votes. We've got over 50 in the chat now, but 18 votes. Those participate if you want to be a part of it. We're gonna go ahead and fill it in. Jumpman wins in a landslide. 9 out of 10 votes were to Caleb Jumpman. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that one, move it down to the next round. So that one wins round number 1. All right, let's move on to the next 2 so we don't drag this thing out too long. Let's get in here, and I'm going to start the poll. And if you have any thoughts or comments on those, go ahead.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on this segment, Adam, but I think for this exercise to reach its true potential, we'll have to start talking about the best Chicago Bears plays of all time, because we're about to have a poll that's featuring one of those plays. If I have to be brutally honest with you.
Oof. We're going to have to do this soon. All-time best Chicago Bears plays. We could do that another time too. But okay, here we go. Round number 1, second bracket. Caleb, and this is a tough one already. I expect them to get tougher as you go along, but when I randomize it, you're going to get a couple first-rounders that are going to be tough against each other. But you got Caleb to DJ Moore, overtime winner. This sealed the game. We won it in a walk-off in overtime. That was 4th down. If he didn't connect on that, we would have lost. We ended up winning on the play to DJ Moore later in overtime because we tied the game with that play. So that one's a close one. We're going to start the poll. That's a tough one to me. Round 1, this is tough when you get 2 really good plays like that competing against each other round 1.
Good for you in trying to sell it and make it seem like it's not as obvious as I personally feel like it is. What's the context with Jahdae Walker here, though? Why is he the one getting the football there? I can't remember. Was there an injury in that game?
No, you got to test my memory now, but
because obviously Jahdae Walker was inactive for games down the stretch there. Like I can't understand it, but at the same time, was there something wrong with Cole Kmet that game?
No, Cole was playing in that game. It had to be something with Olamide Zaccheaus.
No, because Zaccheaus was right next to him on that round combination. I specifically remember that. I'll never forget that. So I don't know, but again,
Rome was
context,
out. Yeah, Trevor Hiller.
Thank you.
Rome
Trevor
was
Hill.
out in that game.
Perfect. That's the context right there. Okay, your star, and for all intents and purposes, Rome is the star wide receiver of the Bears as of this exact moment in time, and was definitely as we're leading up to that point. He goes out. The only likely replacement on the football team in the entire roster, your entire 53 and your practice squad, it was only Jahdae Walker, undrafted free agent. And he came through as if it was the preseason against the Chiefs, right? Kid, and man, I know I don't think you're on TikTok as much as me, Adam. Jahdae Walker's putting out some stuff that'll make you want to run through a brick freaking wall, man. This kid's catching footballs with one hand, no gloves.
I saw that one.
He looks like he's rocked up, and he's just got the helmet on. He's drenched in sweat. I mean, I'm ready to go to war for this kid. So bravo to him. Incredible play, and I'm looking forward to it more and more. And like I alluded to earlier, there's going to be a conversation as we get closer and we're building out our draft boards. Is Jahdae Walker our wide receiver 3? Do we need to draft a wide receiver early to complete the room and fill the void left by DJ Moore? I don't know. As far as this play, it's just like I said last time. This isn't even close for me. Caleb
I thought it would be closer than this. 87% to 13%, 23 total votes. Caleb to DJ Moore is the overtime winner. Play of the year for the NFL.
87 to 13, that looks about right, chat. You did a good job. And again, we're talking about greatest plays of all time for Chicago Bears. And you already heard me listen to me talk about my optimism for the Bears. It stems off of that. It stems off the quarterback being able to just flip his hips, throw the ball right where it needs to be, and have your guy go out and make a play. So,
all right, that next round on the top bracket is going to be a little bit of fun here. But Carl,
so this was randomly generated, and you have to single out Josh Blackwell at once. I got it. Sure.
No,
Random,
seriously,
sure.
dude.
Random, sure.
There's another one on the other side you're going to see that's fun too, the way it landed. But Josh Blackwell is competing against himself in this one. So, and I think these ended up being like the number 13 and number 11 plays of the year. So they're, someone that normally wouldn't meet in the first round. But we got Josh Blackwell, the onside kick against the Packers. We wouldn't have had a chance to, tie that game or win that game without it. And then Josh Blackwell blocked field goal against the Raiders that really, changed the season in that aspect too. Ben Johnson mentioned that one quite a few times being a game changer for the season because it sealed the victory for the Bears. So we're going to put Josh Blackwell. Onside kick or Josh Blackwell. So Josh Blackwell is going to round 2, though. That's what you should be happy about, Carl. He's going to round 2 no matter what.
Yeah, that is correct, and he deserves to. And the thing here, I think both of these plays are awesome, and we're going to be asking our fans here, what do we think, what the vote is. And I don't want to manipulate your guys' minds, but in my opinion, I think this is a butterfly situation, a butterfly effect situation. Josh Blackwell being retained under a special teams coordinator throughout a coaching change. He blocks that field goal early on and, tells himself, he gains the confidence in the rest of his team and the whole unit. We're here for a goddamn reason. So when he blocks that field goal, it's giving him the confidence, the inspiration, and all these things to probably go on and do that onside kick recovery later on in the season. Hope that makes sense to you guys. So if I had to vote, 100% going to be the blocked field goal here.
All right, here we go.
Minnesota, and that one ball is loose. Was it touched?
So obviously down 27-24, 20 seconds left against the Vikings on the second time we're playing them in the year. If he doesn't recover that, we don't have a chance to win that game. We ultimately end up winning that game. So phenomenal play by Josh Blackwell there. But then earlier in the year, like Carl said, third game of the year, if I'm remembering right, here in Las Vegas, where I live.
Yeah.
I know it was long.
Boy, did the Bears not lose that game against the Vikings?
No, we came back and won. Second game we played him of the year. It was the second time we played him. We won, Carl. In fact, one of the highlights.
We won in Minnesota.
Correct.
I thought we split with them.
We did. We lost the first game of the season. I was at that one. It was
hold on. Yeah. But that clip that was the wrong clip.
What are you talking about?
That was against Minnesota the year where we took them to overtime.
Minnesota, and that one ball is loose. Was it touched?
That was last year. That was Caleb's rookie.
Minnesota, and that one ball is loose. Was it touched?
Yeah, we were 4-6 at that point. It even says right there in the graphic. So that's just the wrong year. Regardless, let's de facto this and move it on.
Oops.
Blackwell had an onside kick recovery against the Packers.
Oh, did I put the wrong clip in there?
Yes, you did. Yeah, because Blackwell acquired the onside kick against the Packers when Mr. Alienhead, the Patriots' new best wide receiver, fumbled it.
So he's done it twice? Wow, this is a phenomenal player.
Well, I literally have a clip, and I don't care to embarrass myself on this channel. I mean, I am the biggest Josh Blackwell meat writer.
Oh, we all know
that. This player is incredible.
I'm trying to find it real quick on Twitter since I didn't have it. And then also last year, remember special teams, there it is right there. Freak, Carl. All right, so let's pull this up. All right, we'll pull this up, Carl. We'll make up for this. Don't you worry about it.
We'll do it live on the fly. I love it.
We'll just do it live on the fly. We'll add this one. Twitter. Here we go. Here's the correct one. Let's do it live on the fly here. 10-4 Bears, 159 left in the game. We're down 16. Carl, thank you for discount double checking me. Needed that.
So yeah, the poll is still active, everyone. It is still an onside kick. Adam just displayed the wrong clip, which is fine.
I got the wrong one. My bad.
But my sentiment stays the same. I think that, if the Bears don't, if they, because I predicted this. I have proof on Twitter that I predicted that Ashton Genty's peak of his NFL career would be against the Bears this year. And that's what it was. That was the best game he had. He absolutely destroyed us. Thank you very much, Gervon Dexter. I think it's a different story if Mr. Josh Blackwell doesn't come out and strut his stuff. So that blocked field goal was just incredible.
You've won the chat over. We're going to end the poll. 21 votes. Josh Blackwell's blocked field goal wins 76-24. So that blocked field goal is going to move on to the next round. All right,
so Mr. Jerry with his cravings here, he's asking if we are polling based on the best moment or the best play.
Best play. We're going best play.
Okay.
Best play. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
So if you're having to factor it based off of that, we're going best play because that's what it was on the Bears website. It was titled Best Play of 2025, and they had 15 of them. And so I've included those, and then I've also included, if you missed it earlier, I had to choose between one more, and I chose to go a defensive play since there's so many from Caleb throwing the ball. So this is funny here too, Carl, because you can see these both are Cole Kmet plays. So the randomizer gave us another fun one here. So we're going to go next round, Cole Kmet versus the Eagles. A little fake out, and Caleb hit him over the top, or Cole Kmet in the divisional round, which has become one of the most iconic plays of the year for the Bears. So I have an inkling of which one I think will win. Let me post them in here, and then I'll play the highlights.
Yeah, and I'll give my 2 cents here. Everyone who's listening to my voice is very well aware that Cole Kmet and his entire family are Bears fans. So very, very happy that not only they were able to watch their son, their whatever in their family do what they did against the Eagles, but man, talk about having that special moment. We all talk about and speculate, Cole Kmet this, Cole Kmet that. We're going to cut him. We're going to trade him. We're going to save cap, blah, 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 blah. If he was cut, if he was never to play for the Bears ever again, I'm very, very happy that not only Cole Kmet but his family have that moment against the Rams. And I know they didn't win the playoff game. I wish they did, but that is an incredibly special, unique moment that I think is very fitting for a player who is playing for the team that himself and his family are fans of. So
he just fits in too well here. He's a big part of this team still. I see him signing an extension rather than cut.
I feel like the contract he's on right now is actually a steal, all things considered. And
Especially,
unfortunately, he'll never produce at that contractual level or higher. But the things that he is producing are things that don't show up on the stat sheet, right? Why is our running game so good? Why is
blocking this year?
Why is Kyle Monangai a player who's just, he's just such a good running back? He is a good player. A very good offensive line. The tight end's very directly involved in that. Colston Loveland, and fantastic blocker. Don't care what you say about Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is also a fantastic blocker.
Okay, here we go. So number one, this is divisional round. This is the game we lost to the Rams. Can you imagine if we won this game? This probably would have been the play of the year over the DJ Moore one if we won the game. We didn't win the game. So anyways, here we go. That was, I was freaking going crazy when that happened. That was electric. And here's this 2-possession lead.
Yeah, you phrased it well. Well, I guess both. Well, no, yeah, Caleb too. I mean, that play, that was a good play by Kmet against the Rams. It was clearly the play made by Caleb Williams. Maybe, just maybe, from a technical perspective, it was more of a technically difficult play from Caleb. So impressive to go out on his left, flip his hips, and yes, put the touch on it to put it exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Not something that Fields, not something that Trubisky could do, in my opinion. Very, very technically hard play to master.
And just so you know,
yes, M-verse, 2 great plays. That's spot on.
That tough play, you're talking out to his left, flipping his hips, giving just enough touch to the Eagles there for Cole Kmet. I think that was the number 13 play of the year for the Bears on their website. Number 13. Like, think about that. How good of a play that was. That's number 13. Yeah. But this one's getting running away with as well. We've got 18 votes in all the divisional round. Everyone loves the divisional round throw. I mean, it was such a historic. Caleb scrambling the way he did. I mean, can't really top that. So that one's moving on. We'll go to the top side of this other one. And we got another iconic one by one of your favorite Michigan men. So let's stop this poll first. End poll with 20 votes. 18 of them went to the divisional round. Cole Kmet throw, catch in the snow. All right, now we move on to Colston Loveland's touchdown versus the Bengals. And if I remember quoting him properly, I remember he was shocked that he didn't get tackled. And he said, I knew if I didn't make the end zone that we might not have had enough time to stop it, to kill the clock and get a field goal. So I just said in my head, I got to get in the end zone. Like, it's such a, at this point in the season, that game was a knock 'em out, drag 'em out offensive game. And it's one that you love as a fan. But for it to really end that way with Colston Loveland getting that touchdown, let's just go ahead and show these. Got a comment about that one, Carl?
I get to watch that one with my dad, who's also a Michigan fan. So I mean, that was a special one, man. I mean, that was just. I mean, very proud that he was a member of the Bears just to begin with, but I doubted the draft pick, Adam. I mean, we both talked about it. It's documented. I mean, I was not going to come out immediately and say, yep, Colston Loveland's going to be your top 10 tight end in the NFL, top 5 tight end in the NFL. But, man, I mean, I keep going back to the Illinois game where he was the entire offense against Illinois. And I can't remember at this point if Michigan even won that football game. But it's just so hard to evaluate that when you've got poor quarterback play. All this to say, Adam, that's a special tight end. He had a special moment. I think that this is potentially the base. This player is only going to get better, and he's going to get extremely better. If you're doing fantasy, if you're doing dynasty, get your hands on Colston Loveland. That's a special player.
Yeah, and if I'm being honest, Carl, that might be my favorite for play of the year. Like, that one had me more excited than any play. I don't know, the DJ Moore catch, that was a walk-off.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many good ones, but this one to me was one where I remember like just being like, I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that we didn't go down and settle for a field goal. I can't believe he made it into the end zone. Just like Keith Hall said, and I put up there, it was, from utter disappointment to elation in 6 seconds.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard to explain to yourself, Adam, in the chat. I had extreme anger in that game. I accepted that the Bears won that football game prior to the Tremaine Edmonds lack of pick 6 because he caught the interception. He was touched by a glancing pinky on the way down. He did return it for a touchdown, I think, but they called him down. And that ignited a rage in me that I could not ever get over that. So it was one of those things where when Colston Loveland had that, I was ecstatic. I was very happy, but it was met with this extreme anger, like, for lack of better terms, you're fucking right. That was the vibe that I got from that play. And I'll never forget that either. But again, I mean, that was a very special play.
Okay, the next one, the one it's competing against before I start the poll, this is not a play to be undervalued. I think the Bears had it as their number 9 play of the year this year. Caleb Williams went ahead and rushed in on the left side for a touchdown. Cole Kmet leading the way with his elite run blocking and pass blocking this year, which sealed the game for the Bears. Oh, man, that kind of hurts, too, watching Drew Dahlman run down like this, and now Drew Dahlman's gone.
Well, we don't have to talk about that
bit.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about the human anymore. Yeah, I mean, very good play. Just another feather in the cap for Caleb Williams, right? I think that was a day where the Bears played down to their competition just a little bit. That's a decent Giants team that has a lot of young, promising talent moving forward. But in the moment, that was a bad football team. Let's not get it twisted, right?
Yep.
I think the Bears should have done a better job at home. Probably should have taken care of business, not let it get that close. But at the end of the day, you have a quarterback who can win you football games essentially all by himself. So another good play, very deserving to be here, but I think it's no doubt Colston Loveland for me is the winner of this one.
Carl, clean up your language here. Steve Rogers has his daughter watching, and you're sitting here letting the F-bombs fly. Jeez, come on, Carl.
Well, you know how we do it. We apologize for those actions earlier live in front of the chat, and then we just go back on what we said earlier. That's how we do it. Chat.
I just don't let my daughters watch the live shows that I do with Carl. I let them watch all my videos.
You're welcome.
I don't let them watch the
You're welcome.
Carl. Bad Carl. Bad. Whenever Noah, just so you know for the future, you don't put bad Carl with the K. It's got to be bad Carl with the C. When I'm chewing Carl out, it's with a C.
Oh, boy. All right.
We love Carl. I got some very good praise for Carl. I shared with him earlier. One of you emailed me for a quote. Put the plug in. If you're looking for insurance needs, give me a call. gave me an email, and they put in there how much they think Carl is a valuable addition to the channel, and I couldn't agree more. Carl, you're phenomenal.
I appreciate it, chat. And at the end of the day, it's all the same, especially in the live. A lot of cross contamination, so to speak. Some of the Bear on Sports that side that I don't see anywhere else, and that's cool. You deserve the audience. It's awesome. But at the end of the day, we're all Bears fans. I just appreciate all of your guys' time. You guys spend a lot of time with us live in the lives. It would be such a lesser product, in my opinion, versus having this with you guys, right? Me and Adam could record this offline and not have any input, and it would be a little bit more streamlined. It would be fun. It'd be cool. I'd be down for that. This is so much better. So you guys are awesome, and look forward to seeing you in the chat. Like Jerry, again, with his cravings, he's asking about dicks in my ass. I mean, you've seen that football player. You know that he's a good fit, Jerry. You don't have to talk about that.
All right, Carl, this is the other one I was talking about that's on the other side of the board, where it's ironic that they came up against each other. We got 2 fumble recoveries facing off first round. I can see Carl's face. He's like, I don't believe you. This is randomized. I'm telling you, Carl, was randomized.
I don't know.
Nahshon Wright, fumble recovery on the tush push, no less, against the Eagles.
Well, that's not phrased correctly. I mean, Nahshon Wright recovered the fumble, but he forced it.
He forced it. You're right. Forced, I'm going to put here in the chat, forced and recovered fumble. And then the other one is the Tyreek Stevenson, which I've already said I had to choose this one to be number 16, but I love this play because it really turned the season for the Cowboys were rushing against us. They were having their way with this, and Tyreek Stevenson just wheeled his way. He ripped the ball out of their hands and got the turnover for us, and it changed the entire game there. Forced fumble. Okay, so here we go. So here's number 1. We got, man, I will miss Nahshon Wright. He wasn't the best in coverage, but he was a dog. He fought on every play, and I appreciate what Nahshon Wright did for us last year.
Yeah, I mean, just to speak on that, you could see what the NFL viewed him as getting a contract with a really bad team. No offense to the Jets. $3.5 million base. I think it goes up to 5.5. It's extreme high end. I heard people tell me that Nahshon Wright would get $15 million a year guaranteed on top of incentives.
Yeah,
it's just straight up wrong, man. So again, thank you for your service, Nahshon Wright. Nahshon Wright is going to be a feather in the cap of Al Harris.
Yep.
That's what he'll be moving forward, and hopefully we can have lightning strike twice with our previous year draft pick that had to sit out the entirety of 2025.
All right. Speaking of motivational videos, have you seen how Tyreek Stevenson has been posting on Twitter and posting different places about his motivation? Here's Tyreek Stevenson from live.
Williams looking for some blocks, takes some first down and more. Javonte Williams gets a great lead block out there from Steve. Williams.
I don't know why the audio was off on that one, but Tyreek Stevenson just ripped the ball away and gave us the ball back. Start the pull on that one.
So for my money's worth here, and I think this is the closest one that we've voted on up to this point, I think that Eagles game, which again was just pure domination on Black Friday, right? I mean, we did a chat poll where we had our chat on the Bears Country podcast.
Ooh, this one's
Bears Country
close.
production channel. We had the chat vote on every single game before the year started. Our chat predicted the Bears in 2025 to go 15-2, only losing to the Eagles and the Ravens. And lo and behold, not only did we beat the Eagles, we destroyed them. And I think just for that alone, and Nahshon Wright's year this year, he deserves to win this round, in my opinion, because, man, that was a really good encapsulation of that entire game as a whole, right? The bullies tried to bully you with their tush push. No. Go into their house and just rip that thing out of there. So Nahshon Wright's got my vote for this one.
All right, get your votes in on this one because this is the closest one so far. This one's literally split right in half.
And I think I willed it the way I needed it to go, but we'll see, chat. Yes, your vote's very important, though. I think that this is going to be a fun one as we start to see the winners of each of the initial rounds here.
Oof. Ooh, they're separated by
back.
2 votes right now. We're 10 votes to 8. Ooh, get your vote in. Get your vote in.
To be fair, guys, Adam did say that this poll is based on the best play, not the best moment. So I'm doing a lot of my microcosms and this, that, and the other. Tyreek Stevenson literally Stealing the ball from behind, also technically hard to recreate. Does a better running back shield that ball away from you, though? I don't know. I didn't notice any obvious errors with Nahshon Wright. It wasn't a peanut punch. It was a strip, a good old Brian Urlacher against Edgerrin James on Monday Night Football, Arizona Cardinals, right? The what they call that game? Something about some in the desert. I can't remember. That was the Dennis Green game. But for me, again, Nahshon Wright, that fumble, great play.
Well, it's got a 3-vote lead. We've got to end it. That was the closest one so far. 21 votes, 57% to Nahshon Wright, even though that was the closest one so far. That's fun. So Nahshon Wright moves on to the next round to face Colston Loveland. All right. Let's jump through these last ones a little quickly because I know you got to get to BCP
you're
tonight.
You're kidding me. You're telling me this is randomized, but we got two plays from the same game?
The same game that directly led into each other.
God.
I'm telling you, Carl, you couldn't have scripted this any better. It was perfect. It's fun. All right, so let's jump into this sucker. I'm going to create the poll here. We got Devin Duvernay with the kick return, and without this kick return, Cairo Santos could have. I mean, it would have taken a miracle throw by Caleb to set it up. But Devin Duvernay returned it all the way to the other 40-yard line, putting the Bears essentially in field goal range. And then Cairo Santos ends up kicking that game-winning field goal. So
a true chicken or the egg situation.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do Devin Duvernay's return or Cairo Santos game-winning field goal. It's very abbreviated. I hope you guys know what I was meaning here. But let's hurry and play the two plays we got right here. You know what, Carl?
What's going on?
I think we're going to get flagged a lot on this one.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get flagged a ton on the monetization on this one. Maybe I'll just turn the monetization off. We're just having fun with the chat. It's
next time we do something like this, let me see if I can help you out. I know that there's ways to get around it. It's still hard, but we'll have to see.
It's hard to get the full clip in, though. All right, here's the Cairo Santos. But, Carl, I had to go longer than 7 seconds because you got to get Cairo Santos going like that. Boom, boom, boom. Being excited that he...
Again, you guys are stuck in your ways. Oh, my kicker can't kick 65 yards. He's trash. Guys, he's tied for literally the best, most accurate kicker in Bears history. This is a football player that saved us from the really small window of dark age with Connor Barth and Cody Parkey. We had some kicking issues for a little bit. I'm a fan of Robbie Gould. I remember the Bears having good kickers traditionally because of him, Paul Ettinger. But there was a bad streak. And Cairo Santos has stopped the bleeding. He's a fantastic player, and he's a Chicago Bear. So when he does his little gritty to mock beating the Vikings at their place and Justin Jefferson, don't let that go unnoticed. I mean, Cairo Santos is going to end up being a Chicago Bear legend. So is that enough to propel him over Devin Duvernay? Was that Devin Duvernay's best moment of the year? Probably.
Yeah. So
if it was his best game, Devin Duvernay was really good against the Packers, by the way.
I don't remember how far the field goal was. I don't remember exactly either. I think it was around 35 yards. It ended up being a chip shot by the time we ended up doing it. Maybe it was 40 yards. We got some more.
I don't think it was a gimme. I don't think it was a gimme.
But then Steve Rogers here, that return is the play that had the Bears win the division. If we lost that game, the Vikings would have won the division. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so give us your spiel real quick here, Carl.
That's what I tried to explain because you had that wrong clip on earlier. We split with the Vikings, and if the Vikings beat us in their place, they'd have one extra win on their record as it stood.
Yep.
And they would be motivated to try and beat the Packers in Minnesota on that final week of the year. They would have won the division. They could have won the division very easily.
Yeah, another good point there by Suggett. Santos would have never had the shot if not for that return. So, like we said, the irony of this one is
this one isn't that close. I'm kind of surprised, but
they led into each other. We're going to end the poll. 20 votes. 75% says Devin Duvernay's return, which was a significant play in the game. So, I don't disagree with you guys. Devin Duvernay. All right, last one. Then we'll get to the next round. We're going to roll through the rest of these quick. This one is a fun one to me. Caleb to DJ Moore, wild card win, and DJ Moore tight window touchdown against the Browns. Let's get this one up here in the chat for the poll, and then I'll play the two clips. Then we won't have to do a lot of explaining. We just roll the next round and just have them head-to-head and just hurry and play them and vote on them. So
Caleb
Caleb
to DJ
to
Moore,
DJ
wild
Moore.
card winner, and the tight window throw.
So these are both to DJ Moore.
And I'm sorry, I'm sure you just said this, but refresh me to tight window throw against.
Is the Browns? You remember that one where two defenders?
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
they could
yes.
have technically intercepted it. It was so tight.
The Cowboys 49ers. What is it called? The miracle, something like that. No, it's not the miraculous reception. What's the player, the tight end who caught that? Dwight Clark. Is that who that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that was, man. That's our version of that.
Here is where Caleb, looks off the defender, gives a little pump fake, and then throws it to DJ Moore. We end up winning that game. And because I had to shorten that clip to make it, you don't see Caleb's basically jump man off left foot on that one. You don't see really how tight window that. And I think Myles Garrett was right in his face on that one too, was he not? Right, Caleb's face.
Not too sure about that, but I mean, again, talk about this God-gifted quarterback that we're watching play for our team, Adam. I mean, he has to have the wheels to be able to get out of the pocket to begin with, and then he can't stop, take a breath, set his feet, have a hitch.
Yep.
There's none of that. It's all on the run, and it's perfect. I mean, this quarterback is something else, man.
Ooh, this one's close, Carl. This is another close one. This one's real close.
I'm not even going to vote on this one because it's just I don't know. Well, I am going to vote on this, I think.
What are you voting? Let's see if it
I'm not gonna
sways
say nothing.
people.
I've skewed the voting a little bit too much today, I think. So we're gonna go with this one.
Ooh, this is so tight. I think you slipped.
Wow.
Oh, it's 50-50 now. 16 votes. This is a good one.
When I voted, it put it to 50-50, man. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, this is a good one.
Oh, man.
We've traditionally been ending these at about 21 votes, and that's we're at.
I'm going to give this one an extra
21.
second. This is a great comment by
man.
Steve again. Play is the Browns. Moment was the Packers. And I can actually agree with that. Best play probably is the Browns play. Best moment, Packers.
That's not how I evaluated it, but I picked the Browns throw. I mean, it's that any classic 49ers fan will point to that play that I'm referring to. I just can't think of what it has a name. I just can't remember what it was.
Okay, so I ended that one when it went up by 2 votes. Caleb to DJ in the wild card win ends up getting the victory, but that was the closest one yet. 2 votes separated that one. All right, we're going to start on the same side since they're fresh on our heads, and we're just going to do these two right now, head-to-head. Devin Duvernay kick return and Caleb to DJ Moore wild card win. So let's just put the vote up here. We'll get them started. I'll play the clips while you guys are voting. So round 2, we're going to do Devin Duvernay kick return and Caleb to DJ wild card win. All right, start the poll.
Oh, so that was the only one where my vote didn't win. Okay. Boy.
Here we go. I'm going to play these again. So we've got the Devin Duvernay kick return, and then we've got the Caleb to DJ for the. Here we go.
I was going to try and spin some sort of Cinderella story, but it's going to fall on deaf ears. I mean, I did vote for the Devin Duvernay kick return, but the more you think about it, I mean, not only was the throw to DJ Moore very good, it was sold by the quarterback with a hitch, a pump fake, and the scheme and the game that was called by your fantastic, really, really good head coach. So, yeah, DJ Moore's wild card reception to beat the Packers very much deserved to win and move on in this exercise of ours.
We ended the poll there. It's going to go on to the final 4 there. Let's go to the top here. We've got the Colston Loveland touchdown versus the Bengals and the Nahshon Wright fumble recovery. So we'll start the poll on that one. Let me hear you type it up. We've got round 2. Colston Loveland or Nahshon Wright. And then I'll play them both after I start the poll. We're going to go through these a little quicker. Now that we've already shared our thoughts on them, we've already started them. All right, here's the Colston Loveland touchdown. That's such a fun play. All right, here's Nahshon Wright. Not to undermine Nahshon Wright, but this one's a runaway. Everyone's voting Colston Loveland. Yeah. Colston's going to win that one. So we'll end that poll. And now this is going to be one of the funnest one right here. All right, let's end that poll.
Well, it is going to be fun because these were both fantastic moments against our hated rivals, but talk about not close. Let's see if we can get a 100% on one, chat. I think this one is very deserving of, well, I wouldn't say that, but the winning play I think is very deserving. I think to me it's obvious what the play was from the jump. Yeah.
I think this one's going to be closer than you think, Carl. That Jumpman throw was like iconic for Caleb Williams. The touchdown
he's
overtime.
Literally trying to trademark it. I understand that. But sometimes the beauty is in the simplicity, right? They talked about it. This play, they did it in practice. They hit it, and the way that it played out in practice is exactly how it came down in real life. And again, you can add your emotional ties to DJ Moore no longer being with his football team and telling us that it's always after the Packers. But just from a technicality standpoint, you sell the play action fake, you get your hips squared away, flipped over, throw that ball, it lands perfect in the basket, and please do not forget that DJ Moore is being interfered with to the highest degree by a very bad Keyshawn Nixon. Do not let that go undeserved or unnoticed as well.
All right, so here's the two plays. Caleb Jumpman.
You see that 52 getting pushed back in that pocket there? I'm so glad that 52 is no longer on our football team.
All right.
Don't do that, Jerry. Don't do that, Jerry.
What did Jerry say? I don't know. The better play is the block still. Moment might be commit. Okay, I can respect the thought process. All right, here we go. Caleb to commit. Dude, that's such a fun play. Just period. The fact that happened.
I know. I mean, if you took a snap from under center and let Kmet travel down to that corner of the end zone and then throw it from a pedestal, that's still a hard throw.
Mm-hmm.
This kid had to get himself to a position to even launch it like that after the pocket's just totally bearing down on him. Again, the St. Louis Rams, you're constructing a roster with the most elite defensive line talent top to bottom. No one wants to talk about how good Poona Ford is. All these guys bearing down on Caleb Williams, and he doesn't give a rat's ass.
Yeah, I think you're onto something here, Tempest. I do think some of those defenders thought he was going to get sacked. I don't think they thought he had a shot. And then when it came, they're almost just like, wait, what just happened? We were out of position.
PI, he pushed off. That's why I keep going.
Let's whine about this. This one's over before it even started. Caleb,
is that
two commits in the divisional round, wins in a
Is that the first chat contribution from DeCoach today? DeCoach 1965. Have you been in the chat before that moment? I love doing that stuff.
Oh, yes. He has been in the chat before.
No, I mean, not about before. I mean, today. Let's see.
I think I saw it earlier.
Regardless,
Yeah. They are who we thought they were, he said.
I'm ignorant to a point, DeCoach 1996, 65.
To a point. You're
96, 95. Yeah, very possible. But again, three things that we talk about here on the live shows on Bear Down Sports, right? Talk about St. Louis, talk about Oakland, and we talk about the Redskins. So.
Okay. All right. So we get to our first Final Four matchup, and we've got here we go. Let's start the poll, and then we'll play the two plays. This is such a good matchup here. Caleb. So round 3, we got Caleb to DJ Moore, overtime winner, and we've got Caleb to Kmet, divisional scramble. And I'm telling you, Carl, if we won that game against the Rams, I think this might have been play of the year. I really do.
Moments.
Here we go. Let's play the two plays. So let's go with number 1. Caleb to DJ Moore. Packers. Against the Packers is what gives that one the cherry on top of the ice cream.
You already told us, and this is the second, third time I've said this, we're talking about the best plays of the year, not the best moments, the best plays. But there's just something beautiful about the simplicity of a play-action fake, a deep ball thrown to a wide receiver in the perfect spot, and it was a very, very, very hard catch because he's literally being interfered with.
Yep.
I mean, that is an incredible play. Literally made me cry. I don't know what else to say at this point.
Fun. This was not as close as I thought it would be, though.
Yeah, I mean, who had more exciting plays than the Bears? No one.
Yeah. Well, especially with how many comeback victories we had. It made it such a special season. I hope we can do it again.
Man, Man, Jerry's on a heater. Jerry's on a Final Four Cinderella story run with these comments tonight in chat. Oh my God, Jerry.
I'll wipe your tears, sweet baby Carl.
Jerry, are you by chance the personal trainer for Dixon Maez? Hall?
All right, so we got a landslide. Well, it's actually closer. It ended up being closer than I thought it would. Caleb to DJ Moore, overtime winner, goes into the final against, let's see what the matchup here. Colston Loveland, touchdown versus the Bengals, and Caleb to DJ Moore, wild card win. So let's start the chat here. Let's start the poll.
Is this going to be a Duke versus North Carolina final? Will it be Caleb to DJ versus Caleb to DJ? Again, my sentiment on the play that happened in Cincinnati there, good old Ohio, that play had a lot of anger associated with it due to previous events in that football game specifically. Objectively, it was about as improbable as you could get. So, choice.
All right, so here's the Colston Loveland touch. Shining moment for Colston Loveland too. I absolutely love that play for him. It kind of transformed him.
Yeah. Is there an equivalent to a welcome to the NFL moment? Welcome to the NFL in the sense that
proving yourself.
Normally a negative context, right? Talk
Yeah.
about guys that are rookies that just get absolutely lambasted by Ray Lewis and all these things. It's like, man, do I really deserve to be here? And they turn out to be good football players, of course, but the flip side of that is Colston Loveland telling you, I don't care that Tyler Warren can play this, that, and the other position. The Bears made the right god darn pick.
All right, so there's the second one. Caleb to DJ Moore, wild card win. That ended up winning the game. Still a couple minutes left in the game, but the Bears ended up winning the game off of that throw. He looked off the defender. Perfect throw over to DJ Moore. This one's close.
And again, when you talk about the best play, I think that you can kind of attach Ben Johnson more to the Caleb to DJ Moore wild card winner, because that was a setup. There was a setup play played before then where they did the bubble screen to Luther Burden on that play, and the Green Bay Packers were trying to be all over you. They were trying to win with their defense because they know that they can't win with their quarterback, who is very, 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 very bad. And you have the pump fake that's set up DJ Moore to essentially be wide open. Still not an easy throw, but I would attach that in this context as well. As far as a play, it was probably one of the better designed plays that this team had.
This one's close. We're going to end it. Yep, Flea Flicker, I was going to say the same thing. What was the Luther Burden welcome first game? Flea Flicker.
No. I mean, that wasn't the first game. Luther Burden's welcome to the NFL moment. Again, I have welcome to the NFL as a negative context. He had a slow start because of that darn hamstring and such, right? So, like Rome's welcome to the NFL moment was him getting blasted in preseason against the Bengals. Still caught that football, but I don't know. I'll have to do my research on that one. Willie Wards.
All right, so Colston Loveland ends up winning that one.
Yeah.
And we've got our final. Caleb to DJ Moore, overtime winner, and Colston Loveland touchdown versus the Bengals winner. Both of these ended up walking off the games, essentially. The Colston one, not technically. It still took a kickoff. But let's get this thing rolling, Carl. I think this might be closer than you think. It should be close. We'll find out, though. I think we both know who the winner's going to be.
As a Michigan fan, give DJ Moore his moment. And again, the beauty and the simplicity, right? We're talking about a better play. Both are extremely incredible moments, but at the end of the day, a throw to Colston Loveland is just a throw over the middle. And you had Colston Loveland show how special he is, and that's why this play is at the final here.
I'm gonna take my chance to talk. I don't agree with you. I think that Colston Loveland touchdown took all doubt out of having to get down and put the field goal up. Colston Loveland willed the win on this one. So talking about a better play, yeah, you're talking about schemed up. You played it to perfection the way it was practiced versus DJ Moore. But Colston Loveland in the moment taking over the game as a rookie and saying, I'm going to will this team to victory. They didn't tackle me. I'm going to make them pay. I can see either one of these winning. I like both of these ones.
Final comment. One of the final comments I'll bestow upon you guys because I got to get out of here really, really soon.
Yep.
Even an injured Mike Brown, in whatever age he is in 2026, Mike Brown makes that tackle against Colston Loveland. I'm sorry to say. It's a bad Cincinnati defense. So don't want to take anything away from Michigan's finest tight end. It's an incredible play. End of the day.
Touchdown! That's it, buddy. We got our winner.
On next week's episode, we'll be talking about best plays in Chicago Bears history. And I would expect Caleb to DJ Moore against the Packers overtime winner to be right back in the exact same location. End of the bracket, so to speak. Say that
right
facetiously. I don't know if we want to actually pursue that. We could.
Well, there's your final. I like it. I like the way that turned out. I think we got good voting fans in here. Carl, I know you got to get running to BCP. Put a little plug in for him. This is the Fluffer Forum. This was a fun episode. Not too down to the statistics. Not getting too serious about the draft. We still got a month left to go.
Yeah.
So, Carl, just so you know, I already got just a notice here. YouTube. Live stream copyright notice. Your stream was interrupted. Play of the year, blah, blah, copyright match. Your stream was interrupted because of copyright matches. I've got like 7 notices already. So I'm just going to go.
There's people in the chat saying no. There's a chance that they've already pulled us. Like the show might be down. It might be at YouTube with the hammer. Yeah, I think that's literally down.
Like I was saying earlier, I should have just gone and I'm going to turn off monetization. So
Stream suspended for policy violations. Yep, go ahead and get that suspension. Yeah.
I turned off the monetization just barely. Hopefully,
turned off.
Hopefully we don't have any issues here. I just wanted to have fun, Carl. We wanted to have fun today.
I got you next time. I'll get your clips all primed and ready for you. I'll get your 6.5, 7 seconds. No audio, no graphics on there. We'll figure it out. I got you, buddy. I got you.
Yeah, they're always trying to censor us, man. They're always trying to take away our fun. We're trying to take away from the draft and the seriousness that's going on right now. We're trying to have a little bit of fun. And now here we are getting a rug pull under us. Unreal.
So we're getting we're having a pull-out session talking about dicks in my ass. Understood.
All right. Well, this explains why we didn't have as many viewers in here, Carl.
Yeah, the censorship I'm sure is aiding to that, but
so all right, well, let's get out of here. Give us your little plug. What can people expect on BCP?
We were supposed to have a big guest on BCP tonight, but unfortunately, Aldo Gandhi of the Barroom Network's got a family emergency, so he will not be accompanying us. We wish all the best for Aldo and his family, so no hard feelings, anything like that. We'll get him next time, so to speak. I don't know if someone else from the Barroom Network will get thrown our way. I have no idea, but at its worst, will be myself, Foster, hopefully PJ, and Jason UK Bears will be joining us all on Bears Country Productions, the YouTube channel, for the Thursday show, a.k.a. Bears Country Podcast. It'll be fun.
Good job. Thanks for your help, Carl. Thanks for having fun, even though we got pulled, even though our show's getting taken down. Let's get out of here. Later, buddy.
Screw the system. Fuck the Packers.
Screw them all.
Sports making Chicago proud.
Time to eat twice baked potatoes.
I knew it was going to happen. I really did. Like I should have